Here on June 30th, we draw to a close another Pride Month, and honestly, I thought last year was awfully quiet, but this time around, you had a couple of companies, a few gaming companies, which of course they were going to be the slowest ones to change, but honestly, other than a few profile pictures and banners on social media, all this stuff really got tamped down, mostly because there was a far more pressing political issues that we needed to iron out to begin with, a little 12-day war or something like that, that may or may not, at least at the time that you see this video, still be going on because somebody has a history of violating ceasefire orders and, just as sure as the sun is going to rise in the east and set in the west, they did the thing that they always do. But I digress. There was one story that did pop up, and well, I seen this happening for a little while, and it's like, oh wow, that looks intensely illegal. Why isn't anybody taking action on it? Well, they were just simply getting their ducks in a row. So let's get all of the players involved in this situation outlined, and one of which, Tino. Okay, Tino is a trans community activist, a trans influencer, something like that, going out and has been causing a fuss within that community for a while. And honestly, I don't know if this is like an op or something like that across enemy lines, because they're doing more damage to this cause than, well, actually, they're just acting like every other one of those activists that are there. So I don't know, maybe it's just part and parcel of what they do. But Tino rage baiting, is that what that's doing? Trans community worried that influencers' actions will put them at risk. No, it'll just properly characterize and bring them to light more than any other big budget gaslighting campaign possibly could. Trans TikToker creator Tino has sparked sharp criticism following a series of videos filmed inside women's restrooms at Disney World. Now, as far as I'm aware, okay, maybe this is just me with a gap in my knowledge, but I always thought that filming in public places like that, public-private places, okay, filming in restrooms, basically, or anywhere where you are to expect a reasonable degree of privacy, was illegal. Okay, if not just against the rules of the park or the place itself, of the private establishment, but just, I thought that that was a general breach of privacy laws. Okay, I was always under that impression. So to see somebody openly rate the bathrooms at Disney World, I thought that there might be a problem with that. Okay, and lo and behold, here we are. Well, some defended her right to visibility, where it's like, yeah, everybody can go ahead and go, yeah, it's a trans. I don't think they need any more fanfare. Many people, including members of the trans community, have accused her of intentionally provoking outrage. This tactic is often referred to as rage baiting. Concerns are growing that her behavior could set back broader efforts for transgender inclusion and safety. Yeah, here's the thing. Normally this community is awfully bad about policing their own. I mean, take a look at other very interesting scenarios. But this stuff really started to pop up, and this community really was trying to do something productive for themselves after they achieved a certain level of notoriety in 2023 with the whole Dylan Mulvaney stuff and just how crazy Pride Month was back in 2023 with all of the naked parades and guys with their balls hanging out and riding bicycles down Seattle streets without a seat on it. And it was like, there was some real degenerate stuff that was going on at that point in time. And yeah, some of the more moderate trans activists that were out there were like, guys, we can't really let them peer behind the mask. We got to go ahead and secure that a little bit better and put the ball gag back in our mouth. That people think that we're functional members of society. We have to groom in private. We can't be so open about having drag queen story hours. But back to this, Tino, who previously went by Nicholas Constantino, gained attention in recent weeks after posting bathroom reviews filmed inside Disney World women's restrooms. In several clips, other park guests can be seen in the background. Yeah, several guests, women and children. Yeah, not great. This video was titled A Bathroom Tea and featured her ranking toilet conditions across the different locations. New York Post article characterized her entry into the facilities as terrorizing unsuspecting waitstaff and women. Well, I mean, you could take a look at the background of some of those posts, and they don't exactly look, all of that happy about being on camera in the restroom, and then also this monstrosity being the one holding the camera. The article described the video as bizarre and performative. TikTok users have pointed to Florida's laws protecting restroom privacy. There it is, raising questions about whether the recordings were lawful. A video posted on the 10th of June, Tino argued that the cited law does not apply to Disney. Oh, here's the thing. Well, there would have been that argument at one point in time, but shout out to Bob Chapek, and a little throwback to about that time. Was that early 2023 or was that 2022 with the parental rights and education law, the Don't Say Gay bill that ended up at the domino effect of the Reedy Creek district for which Disney World used to operate around, ended up getting dissolved and turned into a different corporate entity that stripped them of all of those special laws and protections. But we'll get to that very shortly because there is an update on that. But yeah, as for the trans community trying to police Lily Tino, this has been a thing that has been going on for a while, okay? Cast your mind back to January of last year, and trans woman Lily Tino exposed a TikToker who gets mad when misgendered, claims Kurt Cobain was probably trans. Here's why TikTok is tired of him. Wow, and this is coming from Evie magazine, huh? Not exactly a bastion of right-wing opinions. This is from your own community. Imagine being a trans woman. Now imagine creating your entire internet personality on going to restaurants, speaking with a manly voice whilst acting masculine, and suddenly getting upset when a waiter or waitress misgenders you by referring to you as a he or mister. This is an opinion piece. Well, it's a very apt opinion piece. And so you post these interactions on TikTok, including the moments where you ask for a manager so that the employee can learn their lesson and possibly get fired. After all, why shouldn't they lose their only source of income in this economy, right? Meanwhile, the only thing that's womanly about you is your hair. Wow, this is some catty ass shit, huh? Clothes and makeup. I guess it's okay to reduce women to these material things and stereotypes. How fucking based. This is exactly what Lily Contino's, who goes by Lily Tino's, content is. Almost every day, Tino gets his meals paid on TikTok Live and has something to complain about to the waitresses and managers, which is, of course, an extrapolation as to what was happening in those Disney World bathrooms, hoping that one of the staff there would go, "Sir, can you please leave the woman's bathroom, or can you at least please turn off your camera? Excuse me, sir, please." But it was trying to elicit a response in order to perpetuate some sort of grievance and victimhood narrative. But it goes back even further. To Halloween. How appropriate. We're talking about somebody who plays dress up for a living, about an article that was filed the 31st of October 2023. But the bizarre moment a trans woman secretly records restaurant staff calling her sir, with social media users slamming her for egocentric power trip. And yeah, it always hurts. It always hurts when I get referred to as my biological disposition. It's a very tough life to lead. And that's why I constantly elicit these reactions and post them on social media. I get very hurt by all of these. In the video, the trans woman can be seen wearing bright red lipstick, earrings, necklaces, and crop tops. When restaurant staff said "thank you, sir" or "yes, sir," she could be heard correcting them. "I use she, her pronouns. I'm not a sir. I specifically asked not to be called sir." I highly doubt that. You probably just sprung that on them. And given the fact that you're going to obviously very public establishments like this, they would be, "Oh, okay, sure, yeah, whatever. My apologies," and they would do whatever they could in order to be politically correct in this stuck-up society. But they would normally go along with your delusions because we haven't quite progressed that far as a society. We're making steps, we're making strides, but we aren't moving that far ahead. But okay, I don't need to be called ma'am. It's ma'am. I just don't need to be called sir. She can be heard saying in the video. On a few occasions, she left the restaurant after being called sir. She also requested to speak to managers multiple times after the staff apologized. Yeah, very interesting, because it's not appropriate to call Tino a Karen, perhaps a Kevin? Yeah, I think a Kevin would be appropriate. But yes, as you can see, there's a bit of a track record here by this former track star, who I don't know if they were, an athlete in high school and has just fallen on hard times without getting any consistent source of admiration or recognition, so they just decide to run in mental gymnastic circles. But now we can fast forward to June of 2025 and leave the past behind us and circle back around to the whole Disney World stunt and figure out that, Florida's not exactly down with this type of shit, because the transgender influencer Disney bathroom video under investigation by the state of Florida. And no, this isn't just some podunk sheriff's office looking for a bit of good press. This is going right to the big boss. Florida Attorney General, James Altermeyer, announced his office is investigating a viral video posted by transgender social media personality Lily Tino, which features images taken inside women's restrooms at Disney World. We're investigating this. We do not tolerate men or boys in women's and girls' restrooms, gyms, private spaces. No tolerance. We're investigating this one. The video titled Bathroom Tea swiftly went viral and drew significant backlash. The key point to the contention was the capture of women's faces in the background of some of the images. It's amazing that we have to have these conversations today, but here in Florida, we believe that there are two sexes, men and women, and we are going to protect our girls at all costs. Not the guys, though. They can, I guess, have their spaces invaded, because that's ultimately my big beef with a bunch of this shit, at the fucking root of it, okay? Because in actuality, you're just, once again, just trying to rescue women from the consequences of their own bad choices. The first slide of the viral video reads, ranking every women's bathroom at Disney World. In the video, Tino offered a detailed ranking of various women's bathrooms throughout Disney World, providing commentary on their cleanliness and overall aesthetic appeal. Why would you do this stuff? Oh, because your gag was no longer working at restaurants because everybody could see through the inauthenticity of your quote-unquote confrontation with the waitstaff. Oh, so now you're just having to get even more inflammatory. Right. Several photos in the video showed faces of other women, which many viewers deemed a serious invasion of privacy. Critics quickly accused Tino of insensitivity for posting these images without regard for individuals depicted, leading to widespread calls for accountability. In response to the escalating criticism, an online petition was launched demanding that Disney ban Lily Tino from the parks and pursue illegal action. Every woman has a right to feel safe and secure using a restroom without the fear of being watched or having their privacy invaded. The petition has gained traction quickly, with nearly 14,500 signers. Well, let's take a look. Or do we go to the petition from here? Well, looks like it. And do we have this on here? Yes, a little over 14,000. So okay, it hasn't really gone anywhere so far since this article was released. So yeah, perhaps it'll go a little bit higher than that. But I want to see if any charges are going to be laid, because I kind of think that there is a case in this account. Because yeah, if there are in fact privacy laws about filming in public, presumably private spaces in public, then yeah, there's definitely video evidence on this one. And once again, not too dissimilar to the H3 situation where you have absolute fucking brainlets on Twitch openly bragging about stealing content. Well, in this case, you have another idiot fucking around and about to find out. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.